and welcome to the third vlog from Traditions Law. I'm Kent Meyer, the attorney at Traditions Law, and today I have two topics that I'd like to discuss with you that are pretty important with regard to trust administration and with regard to business contracts. So first of all, I'd like to talk a little bit about trust funding. Why is it important? Well, if an asset is not properly put into your trust, that's called trust funding. When you move an asset into your trust in the appropriate way, it's called funding your trust. If your trust is not funded, any asset that is not in the trust will not be managed by the trust and could be subject to probate. So this is something that I can't think of anyone who doesn't want to avoid the probate process. So proper funding needs to be done to avoid probate. Secondly, when you fund your trust appropriately, any individual that needs access to those trust assets will be able to get that access because the trust is funded. That is, that your bank account, for example, is in the name of your trust. If under a power of attorney or a successor trustee needs access to that bank account, then they go to the bank. The bank says, yes, this account is in the trust. Yes, I see you have the authority to gain access to that account. Therefore, you can gain access and make payments as necessary. Additionally, proper funding will result in a good inventory of trust assets, because you really need to know if something happens. Successor trustee needs to know where the assets all are. They have a listing of those assets that are in the trust. And then finally, a properly funded trust will make sure that your beneficiaries get what you intended them to get, when and how you intended them to get it. Now, the second topic I'd like to talk to you a little bit about is, for those of you in business, the dangers of do-it-yourself contracts. Now, there's a lot of possibility to do contracts yourself by going online. You can also, by the way, do things like estate plans online as well, and you can do contracts online as well. However, in both cases, there's a considerable amount of danger in do-it-yourself contracts. Yes, people are trying to save money, but it's not a good idea to be penny wise and pound foolish when it comes to contracts, because they can really turn around and bite you if they're not properly drafted. So what happens oftentimes if you have contracts that are templates that you get online? Well, the contract may leave out very critical provisions that are necessary for your unique situation. And when that happens, again, that can result in liability that you definitely don't want. Some contracts are generic. So, for example, you can find a template online, but that template may not be good for your state. It may be that you are drafting an employment contract, may be good in Nevada, but not good in California. And so you could find yourself, again, in a situation where you didn't want or intend to have liability. Additionally, you can, by improper drafting of the contract, leave yourself open to unknown or unknown liabilities. That is, that by improper drafting, you may write in a liability that you didn't really even know existed at the time you wrote the contract. So don't draft business contracts on the cheap. Don't do it, okay? Because if you do, you'll find yourself sometimes in a very, very damaging position. So spend a little extra money, go to the attorney and ask for help in drafting contracts. Again, Kent Meyer, Traditions Law.